Stream. Okay, I think we are live. We are live. Yes, we are live. That's yeah. Okay, we're live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel again, Cricket Krishna, where we are with the very happy, the very satisfied um, English cricket fan who doesn't get a lot of satisfaction in his life in general. Because there's nothing to celebrate about the English cricket team. They're the most boring cricket team in the world. But we are.
Not anymore. Thanks to Brendan McCullum, Ben Stokes. They changed all that, dude, the last 2 years.
We're with
You lot got Bazball, did it? Bazball. Your man Bumrah was saying Bumrah. Bumrah was saying, I'll get loads of wickets for Bazball. Not this test match, you won't, mate.
Here's the thing about baseball, man. Literally Indians were screaming from the top of their lungs, "Oh, baseball is nothing in front of jazz ball," because Jadeja took all these wickets and everything. But anyways, we are with Mr. Uneven Bounce.
Jazz.
We are with Mr. Uneven Bounce, the worst English cricket fan I know, Shay. Welcome to the stream. And we are with somebody who I have. I don't know whether I have respect for him, but I wish I did have a little more because he supports Kolkata Knight Riders. Um, Mr. Sayan Banerjee, who has some of the most interesting cricket opinions out there. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys.
It's nice for the host, Christian, to start off by dissing his guests. The worst cricket fan. What you got call sign? I'm not sure I should. So, well, it's nice to be on the channel. Thanks very much, Christian, for hosting us.
Yeah.
We are, despite the lack of respect, we are very much enjoying being here today and to discuss the incredible victory that England pulled off today. The heist after conceding 190 runs in that first innings.
Man, I have literally zero words to explain what happened in that test match because India was on top. Like India was Indiaing. Like it was India all the way. That test match, what 260 all out England, 436. You felt it was India steamrolling, spinning to win. You just felt that, and then freaking Ollie Pope, this doofus, comes out of nowhere and then scores 196, and suddenly the game is like. And then Tom Hartley, who the fuck is Tom Hartley, dude? Who the fuck is Tom Hartley? Comes and takes 7 wickets. Like I just
That Tom Hartley looks like he's 40 and 20 at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. That
I don't know who that fucker is. I don't know where he came from. I've never heard of him.
do you think, like in all seriousness, like part of the mystery of him? You have very little footage on it. Obviously, there's footage for every player now. He's played first class cricket. He had 20 games under his belt for Lancashire, but he's never played international cricket before. Because the way he was treated with a bit of disdain, I think in my opinion, the tactics from India were like from Rohit and Dravid to probably get after the two young spinners, Rain Ahmed and Tom Hartley, and that worked in the first innings. But also with Leach as well, he had to turn to Hartley consistently at first innings with Leach doing his knee in twice, didn't he? But you have to say, maybe I feel like you treat him with a bit much too much disrespect. Like you didn't know who he was. Who the hell's this guy turning up? Granted, he had helpful conditions in the second innings for himself, in the fourth innings, shall I say? But I think there was a bit of lack of respect on him, on Hartley, because he actually bowled well, and he actually pulled it back very well. I felt as well in that first innings. He got clobbered for the first 10 overs, and I think at the end of it, I think we bowled 2 for 131 of 24 overs. It was not so bad. You know what I mean? So I think we'll see him play a little bit differently in the second test. I guess we'll get to that later. But
yep.
We just don't like it. We're like for like.
No,
You've got
the
full spinner.
thing is, he bowls spin with pace, right? So he has the speed to match it up, and that's how he takes more wickets on a day 45 pitch when you're spinning it along with a lot of pace, so that the batsman cannot really judge it quickly.
But isn't that what Axel Patel does? The same thing, isn't it? Very similar to Patel.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think Akshar's pace is that much. It's more like Ashwin, more like Jadeja.
I mean, I think they picked Tom Hartley in particular because they thought he could mirror the same effects that Axel Patel had an English batsman 3 years ago. So if you look at them, I mean, they're very similar in build, in stature, in release points. And that's what Robert Key said. They felt like Tom Hartley could do a good job on these wickets based on what Axel Patel did to us, said 3 years ago. So it's very similar, in attributes, I would think. Maybe he bowls a bit quicker, though, Hartley. He does bowl a bit quicker. And they picked Shoaib Bashir as well, who, let's not get into a whole visa situation, but ultimately he will be there for the second test, do you know what I mean? And he's another guy, you wait to see him. He's 6'4" as well. He's very tall, 6'3", 6'4". But he's an off spinner. But I'm sure Christian will get to the second test selection later, won't we? At the end and stuff. Talk about who comes in and who's not. But yeah.
Yeah, I think like I think there's a good point you make about Tom Hartley's there. Like I think he had a very poor first innings, right? He didn't really kind of get the conditions well. But then when he came into the second innings, like the lengths he bowled, and I think the maturity and patience he had in his bowling. I think a lot of English spinners have come to India and lack the patience it takes to like just hang in there, even if batsmen are scoring runs against you. Like Rohit Sharma was going really well in the second innings, right? Like even if batsmen are going against you and you're not really making inroads in the innings, it's important to kind of be patient and just like settle in. Like you'll get your wickets, just keep bowling good lengths. I think that's something that a lot of English teams have lacked on previous tours to India. I think, and that's something I'm seeing. At least I saw in this Test match. Like I think the previous tour of England, previous tour of India that England had come. I think it was the first test they scored 550, and it was like literally the entire team depended on Joe Root to get runs. There was no real bowling effort. I think you had Dom Bess at the time, right, in 2021. So the team didn't really have it didn't have a strong spin core, and it didn't have much reliance on like a good bowling unit, right? So,
Well,
but
Leach did really well in
Leach,
that
yeah, but Leach
series.
is Leach is not the mature bowler. He was not the mature bowler that he is right now. I think Leach has matured a lot in the last 3 years, and I think also Rishabh Pant makes a huge difference, humongous difference. It's like night and day, dude. Like with Rishabh Pant not there in the team versus him being in the team. Like who the fuck is Shrikar Bharat? But anyways, let's like I think it's very nice. I'm very happy for one reason that um it's not a conventional first test win by a visiting team, right? Like it's not a conventional test victory by a visiting team. Like it's usually just spin to win. It's a lottery and somebody wins. Like that's usually how it's been on Indian tours, right? Australia came in March last year and they got one of those wins, right? Even I think it was it back in 2017 or 18? I think England again beat India in one of those kind of test matches. Australia beat India in one of those kind of test matches. But I think,
That was 2017
yeah,
when Steve Smith.
yeah, Steve Smith, right? So this particular test match, I think it was a very well fought match. It wasn't like one sided from start to finish. There was a lot of drama, right, towards like the end of the game. I think there was resilience, right, which was very great to see. I want to ask you though, like guys, like what was like the standout moment of this match? And if it's Ollie Pope, then like shoot yourselves. Like,
Has to be Oliver.
has to be Ollie Pope. Oh man.
I think because taking 7 wickets on a day 4 pitch in India, it's easier than scoring 200 against Jadeja,
Yeah.
Axar, and Ashwin,
Mm-hmm.
and Bumrah,
Yeah.
and
I,
Siraj.
I, 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 I'm going to say something different. I know Ollie Pope played an unbelievable good innings, and I am one of his biggest critics, and I think rightly so until today. And I'll still be on his back because I think he owes England that century today, that almost double century. But I'm going to say something different, Krishna. I'm going to say a turning point for me was the way that Crawley and Duckett came out in that third innings.
Mm-hmm.
That even though they were 180 runs behind,
Yeah.
they came out guns blazing. They scored both of them. I think Crawley made 31 or 33,
Yeah.
and Duckett made 42 balls. They both scored almost 100 strike rate. And I think in teams gone passing, England especially, they've gone to the shell and tried to absorb pressure and somehow maybe eke to lead. But England, again, this baseball buzzword bollocks. Ultimately, I think the approach did not waver at all, despite conceding almost 200 run lead. Crawley and Duckett came out exactly the same, I said that first innings, and that put pressure back onto India quickly.
Yeah.
So then Pope came out. He scored at a good rate. So I think he scored almost 200 runs at over 70 strike rate. I mean, this is a guy. If you want to talk about teams of yesteryear, of days gone by, Ollie Pope is a classic example of someone who was completely different. He looked like a blind rabbit in the headlights. Do you know what I mean? Like he had no clue of what was around, what was going on 3 years ago. He was absolutely useless. But this time, even when he flopped out, what was it? A 11-ball one in that first innings. And yet he comes up there and plays with such aggression still, despite everything that's happened in the past. The demons running through that kid's mind going into that second innings. But he didn't let it phase him, and he batted superbly. Superbly, that shot. Who was the shot off the spinner where he flicked it over his head? Was it Axel?
No,
I think he hit 100. Literally reverse sweeped it, literally over his would have been over his left shoulder. Sorry, over his right shoulder. Incredible stuff, man. Anyway, but I think Ollie Pope is as much as good as he was, that was too, but I felt like if it was Crawley and Duckett laid that platform.
Yeah.
That for me is turning point. I thought this is a different England, different animal that we're dealing with here. They will not be just cowering to a corner in this team, on this leadership. So yeah, that's for me there, Krishna.
Yeah. No, I think I actually agree with you on the fact that the way they approached the second innings, they came out, because I think there was this huge momentum shift, right? I think yes, also the way they got out India for in the last whatever they wrapped up the India's first innings in the very first hour or something of the third day, right? I think that was a very I think for me I think it was telling of something that because Jadeja had been scoring all these runs, right? It felt like there's something, this game has a little bit more meat in it, and also I was looking at the scorecard, I was like, damn, England's coming out here scoring 4.5 runs and over, doing baseball when they're down 200 runs. They're down 200 runs in the first innings, and I'm like, damn, these guys are coming out, they don't care, because most teams have who've come to India, they immediately shut down and get into this defensive mode,
exactly, yeah. England would have. England 3 years ago would have done that. That's the team did that.
Yeah.
They got rolled in it.
Yeah.
Also,
it's just the blockathon mentality. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, very much so. But ultimately, as they've learned in India, keep doing that. Eventually, one will have your name on it. But I also want to just a quick one to Tom Hartley, not with the ball, with the bat.
Yeah.
With the bat.
Yeah.
Because his two partnerships in the first innings with Ben Stokes and his second innings partnership with Ollie Pope, that set the game up.
Right.
Because it managed to get England over towards 250 in that first innings. We thought, as Ben Duckett said on the day one, he thought it was a par score. Now, obviously, India proved that wasn't right. But it looked like a 160, 170 all out. Became 250 when Stokes started to tee off at the end. And in that second inning, I think him and Pope put on 80.
Yeah.
To get England a lead of 230, right?
Yeah.
Because Tom Hartley at 34 in that second innings.
Right.
And he had 23 in the first. So forget about it. And then obviously, for me, forget Ollie Pope, he's man of the match. Tom Hartley, man of the match. One out, shove it out. And I also want to say, I don't think I've ever seen, I can't remember, and I've been following this game for 35 years almost now. I cannot remember better management and captaincy of a spin bowler in such alien conditions. This guy is from a little town called Ormskirk, Krishna and Sayan. You won't know it. Little shitty town called Ormskirk. I used to play them when I was a school kid. They were from the northwest of England. Shit town, man. Ormskirk. And then little kid produced plays for Lancashire, sorry. Yeah. He is a long way from fucking home, mate. Trust me. The man is in Hyderabad, a sea of Indian vase around him. You know what the fuck's going on? You won't have a clue. And he was thinking, where am I now? I'm getting clattered by these great Indian batsmen in Hyderabad, of all places, on his debut. And to come back like that, I have to say hats off to Ben Stokes, because whatever they're saying to these people and the confidence they're instilling, unbelievable. I can't sing that man's praise enough, Ben Stokes, the way he's led this team. And Tom Holland today was absolutely indicative of that. Because I'm telling you now, another spinner, he'd been another Simon Kerrigan, if you know who he is, from 10 years ago. He played one tickets Australia and Shane Watson smashed him out of the attack. You never saw the guy again. Never saw him again. Career was finished. But Tom Holland, the way that he was captain today was just sensational stuff to come out that way, man. It's about the mindset, Krishna. It's about the mindset. As much as anything else. The team isn't great. Jack Leach is not a great spinner. Tom Holland is not a great spinner. Ryan Holman's not a great spinner. Joe Root is a part-time spinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's the approach. So anyway, sorry, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, but it's good to see. I mean, like in England it's always like most teams have come to India and they're like they bring the star players, right? You bring a Jimmy Anderson, you bring a Jofra Archer, you bring a Pat Cummins, you bring a Mitchell Stark, and you expect to do big things with star players, right? And here you win a test with a complete nobody in Tom Hartley, right? And it's like it's something just it's something that out of a text, like out of a storybook, right? It's a fairy tale, like for Hartley, like it is genuinely something like, honestly, you can't put words to it, like. But obviously we're still one test in, so we shouldn't like start like singing praises of England. There's still
Yeah, like just wait a bit.
There's still 4 tests to go. India will prepare a spinning deck. It'll prepare a shit dust
Oh
bowl.
yeah, big
We'll
time,
win, we'll
big
win
time.
4 tests.
It's spinning more than 5 degrees now. Every ball.
Yeah, but I do want to talk about the Indian team because like we've talked quite a bit about
Let's
India team,
not.
right?
A
No,
bunch
no,
of
let's talk about
losers.
I
it.
would
We should talk about
your
the batting and
I
the
want
bowling.
your opinion on Indian batting.
So, see, the thing is, well, on the Indian batting, of course, Yashasvi Jaiswal did really well in the first innings. So did Jadeja. I think they batted really well, but I think the Indian team, everybody talks about foreign batsmen struggling against Indian spin, right? I don't think not enough people talk about Indian batsmen struggling against spin in general.
Yeah, exactly. We
Not
are
enough people
pretty
talk
dog
about it,
shit. We
right?
are pretty
I
dog
mean,
shit against spin.
you think of like 2000 and like the 2000s, the early 2010s. You had Gambhir, who was India's best player of spin, the so-called best player of spin in that era. Virendra Sehwag, Tendulkar, Lakshman, all these like really like stalwarts, right? You had that the test team was that strong, and then you had in like the 2017s and stuff, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane. You had guys like Murli Vijay also in that team. You had guys like Shikhar Dhawan as well in that team, right? And they were not bad players of spin themselves, but suddenly now with this Indian team without Virat Kohli in it, right? And without Rahane, Pujara, like it's a completely new look Indian Test team, right? With the middle order is just like what 5-10 tests old, maybe. Like the most experienced player is probably 5-10, maybe 20 tests old, right? You look at that middle order and they struggled today against they struggled against Hartley, they struggled against Rehan, and sometimes they've struggled in the past against Joe Root, against Nathan Lyon. Like it's this Indian middle order is not the best when it comes to playing spin, and we should call it out.
Okay, I think I want to say one thing. We should we should really consider dropping Gill from the test team for now.
I was gonna get to
Make him
Shubman
play
Gill.
Ranjis.
I was gonna get to Shubman Gill, but
Because what
Shay,
the fuck is he doing?
yeah, Shay, you have anything to say about that?
About Shubman Gill or just the general
In
the
Indian
play.
Indian batsman weakness against spin. Your thoughts?
I mean, the way I saw them play, I thought in the first innings you took the England spinners a bit too lightly,
Yeah,
and you threw your wickets, which was surprising.
yeah,
I do feel there's an air of arrogance about Indian batsmen, especially that first innings,
yeah,
and you thought you just think because you become so strong at home. You barely, I was telling my wife today. It's like we're coming to India. It's like David versus Goliath. No matter who the team is, the twin India is really the final frontier, as England proved that 12 years ago in 12-13. So, but I did feel like maybe India got so comfortable, like just any team comes over, obviously apply yourself to a certain extent, especially in Australia series, which is very tough for them
yeah,
last year. But ultimately, it becomes boring in a way. how easy it's becoming. I do feel like Tom Hartley, Ray and Ahmed, who are these guys? And I felt like the stroke play that I saw at times, especially the wickets that they conceded, were indicative of that. And that kind of just like very arrogant, kind of laissez-faire approach. You just thought it doesn't matter. We've got Ashwin in the bag. We've got Jadeja in the locker. They're going to spin these boys out again, and we'll go home within 3.5 days. In terms of the ability to play spin, I guess I've really knuckled down and thought I'll take that closely enough. But I think my understanding, obviously, they're all. I think you guys obviously brought up spin, isn't it? From pretty much out the womb, you brought up spin. But I mean, you cite. I mean, I was just laughing when you just mentioned the great four before when he said Tendulkar, Dravid, Lakshman, Ganguly. I mean, that is just. You just think about that and how those four. You're lucky to get those four players across 40 years.
Yeah.
To have them in the same team. I mean, comparing it against those guys, yeah, you're not going to be perceived to be as strong as that team 20 years ago. But that was just an anomaly.
Yeah.
That was just how four elite legendary games came together, right? You can't, it's it's Shubman Gill, K. Rahul. Who batted at 4? I can't remember now.
Aksar.
Today?
What was that about? Axar in at 5 in the second. I didn't get that. What was going on there? I saw Axar. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here?
That's a very stupid move.
Yeah, I didn't
They
get
thought
that one. At 5, trying to be too funky for their own good. It's stupid. But you got Jadeja at 6, and he's very much a frontline spinner. So maybe you're a batsman like potentially, especially with Case Bharat, as you say, Sayan's not a very good batsman. So if he's coming in at 7/8, you could say it's a fairly weak team, isn't it? I mean, you're missing obviously the juggernaut in Kohli, no doubt.
And Pant.
And who? Sorry,
Rishabh Pant.
You say Pant, but Pant's not been playing for a year now, man. You know what I mean? It's like he's been gone for a while. So I mean, okay, fine, I mean missing Pant, but when I say we're missing, Harry Brook today.
Bro, come on.
No, I'm not saying we don't. My point is like Harry Brooks is a quality player. I know you can't judge from IPL, dude. He's a very good player, and if he played best next to gloves, he probably would have made more runs than Ben Foakes. I would have thought if Brook would have played, right? Because Best would have kept. But yeah, I mean, I think I do. I personally see a weakness in that lineup from an English perspective. I read that top 7 without Kohli. I think you can get at this team. You can get at them. Because you're producing heavily spin-friendly tracks, as long as you've not got some complete numpty bowling for England at the other end, and you've got some, and what we've got is basically hard-working classic spinners in Hartley and Jack Leach. Rian Ahmed is very much the unfinished article, in my opinion, and I get to that later, because I'm not fully convinced just yet by him, especially in first level. I'm not convinced by him. But you've got honest, hard-working spinners. The tracks you're producing, I think will always have a chance against your top 7. If that answers the question around about way, Krishna, I hope to a certain extent. I do think, I don't think you guys are that good against, spin bowling, to build that fearsome fall to dominate an attack of even guys like, say, I mean, Joe Root, man. Joe Root looked quality today with the ball.
Yeah.
Stoke turned to Joe Root, man, who's really his premier batsman, to take wickets. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Guys,
So as I'm saying, I said in my video, as the last thing I'll say, you go and produce these dust balls, mate. You guys go and do that.
Yeah.
Start ragging those tracks up nicely. Is it Viswag? You put out as a short. Go and start dusting up those wickets, because I think that might also play into our hands as well.
Yeah.
Because Root failed in this match, he's probably due a score next game. You would think he'll make runs.
Right.
So okay, I'm not that scared if you produce an absolute Bonson and we get a 7-session test match. If that happens, that happens. But I don't know. I feel it's a bit different. I feel like we can kind of go blow for blow with you if you do that, because especially without Kohli, I think there's enough weaknesses there and fragility in that team, especially like Shrey's fucking Aya. That guy's a puss, man. Like there's something about him I just don't like, man. There's something about him. He ain't got that.
Science heart is broken. Science heart is.
I'm, there's something about him. I'm sorry, Sayan. There's something about there's something about him, man. Like I remember seeing one video dancing with like Rohit Sharma in his flat or something on Instagram. Like, what is this shit, man? Like, could you imagine Ben Stokes doing some kind of dance in his living room with other players? It's not gonna happen, man. And this sort of stuff like, and us, we know he's quite susceptible to the short ball as well. I just don't know if he has that grit. Listen, you might prove me wrong. It's 5 tests. It's a long time, but he's not the kind of guy I want in the trenches with me. I don't want him.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
Virat Kohli
definitely. No way.
front and
No way.
center. Huh?
Definitely, you can't. He can't be a clutch player. Never. I am telling you
Listen,
that.
could make runs. I was about gritty. The shot he played today was weak, man, to get out. It was a loose shot outside your stump, man.
And he always
He's
looks like he's dancing on the pitch.
I don't know. He's not my guy, man. Like Pajora, say what you want about Pajora, yeah. He just stuck. I reckon he was stuck in there. Rahane is,
Fair enough.
that's just a bit of a banter. But honestly, Pajora, he's just an old wily vet at this point. What 35? You could have done with a Pajora today, man, just to calm things down. It took Ashwin. Ashwin came in. He took you in a hair width, of that victory, because Ashwin's been there, seen it, done it, you know. And he's what? I think Ashwin turns 38 years old this year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you needed him with a bat to pull you through him, and he almost did it. He almost did it.
Yeah.
But not for me, man.
Guys,
Anyway,
just give me a second. So the Zoom link will end. I'll send you a new link. I'll just send you a new link. Yeah. Just you can.
all right, cool.
I'll just end this and I'll send you a new link.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah. Hey guys. So yeah, just ending this meeting. So yeah, I'm just creating a new meeting. We'll be continuing the stream in a bit. Uh, just give me a moment. Yeah, so we're just talking. We were having a good discussion there about the India match, the India England match, and it was quite lovely. We're still The stream is not over, guys. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, India England Shay will be with us to join us. Yes. Um, Yeah. So the if like I think it was a good discussion about uh, India not having the resources to like essentially play spin, like the spin bowling department has not been the most spin batting department, the department, India's batting department in spin has been quite poor. I think we have to acknowledge that India has not been the best at playing spin bowling, right? So yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. There we go. Yeah. So no, you were saying, right? I think to add to your point of Indian, like you said, Indian batsmen have become a little too comfortable winning, or India's batsmen have been too comfortable in relying on their spinners to win them games, that they feel like they don't need to score a lot of runs to actually do something. Like, I mean, the number of hundreds that Indian batsmen score in recent times, or the number of hundreds that are scored on Indian pitches in international cricket matches, have reduced significantly. If you look at like we were talking about the 2010s, right? Like you had like Lakshman would get 200s, like Gambhir, Sehwag. You had all these guys getting like
God,
daddy
Gavin
hundreds.
Sehwag, they were pulling it. My God, man.
Daddy
What a
hundreds.
team.
You had daddy hundreds, and now if a batsman gets above 100, you're like, wow, oh my god, it's crazy, right? Like if somebody gets
Yeah.
50, you're like, damn, this is insane. Like Ollie Pope getting 190 is honestly shame. It's a shame that none of like you. I mean, look at the pedigree, right? You have Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer. Like that's a very good top five. That's a fucking phenomenal top five. And
But
you're
but is it? It's a very good top five.
on
Uh,
paper, on paper, it looks brilliant.
no, well, Jaswal is too new. He's played what 3 Test matches.
Yeah.
So I mean, Gill is having a horrendous time, horrible time. To me, I told you, Shreyas Iyer, I told you my point, my opinion on him. I don't think it's that as good as you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's overrated.
Hmm.
I think the quality, the talent, innate ability is there, but also it comes performances. I don't see that as better than England's top 5. No way. No way. And
Not better than
especially away
England,
from
not better than England's top five. I mean, of course, you consider the inexperience, but I'm just saying in terms of like pedigree, Yashasvi Jaiswal is in hot form. Like that kid is scoring runs everywhere in any format, wherever he wants, right? And Shubman Gill, of course, has had a phenomenal 2023, but a very very thin run of form in recent times. And is he really better than Cheteshwar Pujara at 3? I mean, that's a good discussion to bring up. Like, you're throwing out Cheteshwar Pujara on the basis of what? On the basis of what?
well,
Rahane, I
well,
get.
what do you reckon, Si?
It's a tough. It's a very wild thing. Get in Rajat Patidar next. He's in the squad, and he'll
That's actually a very good
do
idea.
better than Shubman for sure.
So you'd make changes to the side.
Yeah, definitely.
So who you changing?
Ideally, it should be Shreyas Iyer and Shubman going out for, let's say, Rajat Patidar and someone like, who else is there in the squad?
Is Kishan in the squad?
Kishan is
No,
not in the
no.
squad. No, Kishan is not in the squad. Let's just check the squad. I'll read out the squad. Yes, this is how we
Or just play Gill at 5. Just play Gill at 5.
See, but I
Play
think
Patidar at 3.
the thing with the Gill.
Why are you ill and dropping Aya?
His Iyer's off no good anyways. Like, he's not standing up there and he's not doing the role of a number 5 that he's supposed to do.
Okay, let me just read out the squad. Rohit Sharma, Shreyas Iyer, KS Bharat, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Dhruv Jurel, Rajat Patidar, KL Rahul, Shubman Gill. Kohli comes in for the 3rd and 4th test, and 5th one I guess as well. Ashwin, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Bumrah, Avesh, Kuldeep, Siraj, Mukesh Kumar. That's your squad.
God, that's absolute poverty.
Yeah, that's your Indian squad. I mean, if I look at the squad, I would say, I mean, I don't think Shreyas Iyer should go out personally. I mean, I think he's still better than most of the batsmen in the squad, definitely. Like, but Shubman Gill. So the thing with Shubman Gill at 3, right? I think it's one of those things that sounds good in theory, but doesn't work in because
Yeah,
Shubman Gill is somebody who's what do you say? He's been groomed to play a certain way at the top, right? And then all of a sudden you're telling him you have to suddenly play at number 3, right? I mean, Shubman Gill has not had a career like that is long enough for him to like be adaptable to 3. I feel like that's not something he's. I mean, he's still very young in his Test career. He's only played a year of Test cricket. Like it's not enough. Like at least when you groomed Rishabh Pant, you told him you're gonna play at number 7. You didn't like fuck with his batting order. Yes, he got out a couple of times, but he scored hundreds for you at number 7, right? You never did that to Rishabh Pant. Jadeja has been groomed to play at 7, 8, 6, whatever, right? But with Shubman Gill, right? You've said, okay, we need you to open the innings. He scored 100 in his first Test match. He's won the hearts of everybody, including Sara Tendulkar. And then now he's like supposed to play at number 3, right? Like it's it doesn't make any sense to me. Like Shubman Gill at three over Pujara, who's the most experienced number three we have in the country, right? And he who has, by the way, Pujara, a dying breed. Go check out that video on Uneven Bounce. Great video, fantastic video. Made me fall in love with Shay the moment the moment I saw it. But
I like that video. It's always true. I always thought, he's not a typical Test batsman in a sea of T20 specialists.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know him, but
By the way, for whoever's watching, when I say love, I mean I love his channel, not like don't cancel him. So,
hashtag no.
yeah, no homo, yeah. So when it comes to, but Pujara, right? Coming back to Pujara, number three. I mean, the skill that guy has in padding, especially off spinners, right? And the skill that he has for playing time, because Test cricket is all about playing time, right? And the skill that guy has is again a dying breed, very difficult to find. Any day, I would take Cheteshwar Pujara at number three over Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill's untested at three, dude. He really is. He's had 10 innings, averaging 80. His last 10 innings have come at number three. He's averaging what, 20, 18? Not good enough for India, number three. You're telling me we can't find better batsmen at number three? You're telling me Cheteshwar Pujara is worse than 18 average? That's nonsense. Like, I don't understand. See, at least with Ajinkya Rahane, you get why he's out of the team. You get that he's been playing for God knows how long.
Time is gone. Rahane's time has passed, but Pujara keeps scoring first class level.
Yeah.
He keeps scoring now. He had a phenomenal season last year with Sussex.
Yeah.
And who's he play for in Ranji? I can't remember who he plays for in Ranji, but he just did.
Saurashtra.
But he did some stat came up recently. Another 100 he scored, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but he keeps scoring runs. That guy, man.
Yeah, he doesn't stop scoring runs. He always proves his point. He always makes it like he gives you more and more reasons to pick him. Like he gives you enough reasons to pick him, and you don't pick him. And he's probably the most experienced. If you put Pujara in that squad, that squad looks 100 times better, 100 times more experienced. Like it just does, right? But yeah, I think it just like I think the selection. I don't know about Rajat Patidar, to be honest.
Like Rohit at three.
But again, like why would you do that?
What?
I mean, we know Rohit is a bona fide opener. We've tried him at number six for 10 years. We had him at number six. He was in and out of the side. He didn't really do much with the number six position, right? And then we push him up to the top. He scores heaps of runs. That's literally Rohit Sharma's career.
No,
But
but
you were
I
saying,
think right now BCCI is trying to like ease out the transition from the Rohit Kohli test era to the next gen. They're trying to hand it over in a smooth way, and I think that's why
To who though?
they're not.
To who? Who's gonna take the leadership? Who's gonna take the everybody's still so Shreyas Iyer
Hopefully,
has been playing test cricket for what, 2 years, 3 years? Like KL Rahul has been playing test, like he's been up the order, down the order, up the order, down the order, wicket keeping, not wicket keeping. Like what is KL Rahul doing? Right? Like
KL Rahul is just there.
he's just there. Yeah.
why
It's
do you
like that
bat him?
fridge that's always there.
Why do you bat him at three?
Personally, at
Yeah,
number
KL
three,
at
KL Rahul
three.
makes more sense than Gill.
KL
Makes
makes
way
more
more
sense.
sense.
Drop Gill down to 5 or something. 4, whatever.
No, but now you're messing with a minute. Like open three. You said, what's this love affair with Gill? Like you're just trying to make the team move heavens to accommodate him. But I'm not convinced that's necessary. I think if you're going to play him, then open with him. You know,
Then
and
who do you
that's
drop between Rohit and Yashasvi?
well. I don't think you. I mean, I said the only person I would thought about is Rohit, and that's because he's 37, right? Like he's almost towards the end of his career. So and he knows his game inside. He's not going to change, but he probably could adapt to batting at three better than Gill could. Well, seemingly so.
But why?
So
But why
maybe put.
force that on Rohit? I mean, Rohit's like Sehwag for you at this point. Like Rohit,
That's what I mean. Though. Just drop Gill completely. Just drop him.
just drop him. I would agree. Drop Gill completely. Like personally speaking, I mean, he's given you enough reasons to drop him. You've given him 10 innings at three, right? You've given him 10 innings
Yeah.
at three. You can get in a Patidar, right? You can get in a Patidar,
Yeah,
and you can choose where to play Patidar. To me, for me, KL Rahul at three, Shreyas Iyer four, Patidar five. I think makes a lot of sense as opposed to Gill at five. If you want to bring in a Patidar, also Patidar has the game, like he definitely has the game. It's not that he doesn't have the game. He's just untested. But Patidar at least is fresh, and you need some. I feel like you need like the Patidar energy that he brings in is very very interesting to the squad. To be honest, personally speaking, I don't know about you guys, but I like the idea of bringing Patidar. I know you guys are gonna laugh at me, but it's fine. Go ahead.
There's another name. It's very wild. But bro, just think about it. Get in Rinko at this point. Not into the team, not into the 11, but into the squad.
I mean, Rinku, I wouldn't mind, but
And
again,
then like
but
slowly
you can't
ease him
have too
in.
much chopping and changing. Shay, I think, has disappeared for some reason, but yeah. Um, no, I mean, see, if I had to make a change, I just make that one change. I don't know about the bowling. I don't know if you would make changes there. Like, where they playing
No,
next?
bowling is fine, I feel.
Where they playing next? Let's see where they playing next. They are playing at
Which cause
Vizag. Vizag. Yeah.
Isaac, yeah.
Is Vizag
I think
traditionally
we
turning
go with
surface? I'm not sure.
well,
It's
it
a
will be. Sure, it will be.
seaming surface. More of a seaming surface.
Hmm.
I think you're playing on unchanged team, unchanged.
Yeah, definitely. We don't have players.
Well,
But I
I think
mean,
because Coley comes. The only question is when Coley comes back, he's come back for, right? So
I
he's
think
come back
Kohli
for
comes in for
Gill.
Gill. Kohli comes in for Gill. If you're
I
if
think
Has
it'll
to
be.
be.
I think it'll be a shootout because Gill scores 100 in Vizag, then he stays, and Aya flops, Aya goes.
yeah.
I think it's a straight shootout between those two
Hmm.
for who when Coley's back in the third test, who makes way between Gill and Aya. It'll be between those two in the second test. I'm telling you, I bet you because K. Roll scored runs. He should have scored 100. Really, Raul. He should have scored 100. He should have. But anyway, he made runs. Jaswal made runs. Rohit's captain. So forget about that. Shadeja's so crucial. Although Shadeja pulled up with a hamstring injury when he got run out. So I do wonder about
Oh,
him.
yes.
So there's a hamstring issue. The guy's almost 35. People forget that. He's not no spring chicken anymore. You know. So I wonder with him, if he pulls up, you have to readjust the balance. I'm not sure who's a like for like in that squad for him.
I mean, you don't have Washington Sundar. I mean, he's probably the most like for like in
Yeah,
test
true.
around in and
Some
I
around
think
the
yeah,
most
test
probably
squad.
Kuldeep will come in.
Yeah, he'll probably
yeah,
have
but
Kuldeep.
that's the problem there, right there.
Yeah,
Because if Kuldeep comes in, you got Barrett at 6. You mans are fucked. If
yeah,
you
and
got him at
Ashwin
6,
at 7 is too. It's too long a tail. It's too long a tail.
yeah, Ashwin at 7. As though I can't stand him with the bat in India. I hate. It's like Nathan Lyon in Australia. That nuggety, annoying presence. As my mate said to me, that guy is Mr. fucking India. Ashwin's Mr. India. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve, man. Literally.
Yeah,
Bleed blue and all that. You know what I mean? That is Ashwin. And a great, unbelievably good bowler. But him at 7, no way. If you got Barrett 6, Ashwin 7, trust me, Stokes is licking his lips. Even Stokes might come onto ball to back a few wickets, and that one, he only needs one leg. You might think, oh, if the knee's fucked, it's all right. I can bowl again. If I see Barrett at 6 and Ashwin 7 carded in Vizag, game on. Absolutely game on with that. If you bring in Kuldeep for Jadeja, you've lost that. I mean, didn't Jadeja score runs in which I can't remember, was it the second innings he scored or first
he
innings?
scored 80 odd.
Yeah, he did. 80,
No, but then we don't have any like for like replacement also at this
you know what you'll
point.
do? Genuinely, what you probably do, you probably bring a batsman in, like Padidar or someone, and you'll drop Siraj as temporary bring Kuldeep. Something like that. You can't
Makes
have Barrett.
sense. No, but I don't think we'll go in with one seamer only.
No,
We did that.
India will always go in with 5. 20 wickets is way more important than scoring 300 runs.
Yeah.
That's always the case. At least India believes
Well,
in the 5 bowler theory.
you won't drop. If you bring in Yardev for Jadeja, you've already got faltering batsmen in Iyer and Gill,
Yeah,
in that middle order,
yeah.
and then you got Barrett at 6. This could be England could be bringing it home. Do you know what I mean? Bringing it.
Nah, that's just come on,
But I mean,
guys.
see,
What? Trust me. If I see Barrett carded at 6 on Friday, I'm telling you now,
no,
we're
that's
gonna be
that
here.
that won't happen though. It won't happen. I don't see that happen.
Let's see it.
But okay,
Let's see.
KS Bharat. I want to touch upon KS Bharat. Okay, KS Bharat has been in and around Indian circuits, in and around Hyderabad circuits, Andhra circuits, whatsoever. This dude has been around the Indian team. I think he's been around the Indian team setup. I don't mean like in the team, but he's been a traveling reserve in many tours for the last 4 or 5 years now, right? This guy has been groomed. He's been groomed. Now, I'm not saying he's been groomed well. I'm just saying this guy has had a lot of time with the Indian team, right? I expect a lot more from this guy. I just do. I don't care. I don't care if he's played 10 tests, 15 tests. Like if you're coming into the Indian team at this point, if you're making your if you have to be there, you have to freaking like you have to be there. You have to earn it to be there. You should have earned it. As I'm assuming that this guy has earned it. I don't know how, but this guy has probably earned it. The selectors have seen something. The guy has had so many opportunities to become a hero. So many opportunities. World Test Championship, the guy was batting with Rahane, had a great opportunity to, put his name out there. The guy has played with Gujarat Titans, Sunrisers, Hyderabad, whatever. He's been with a bunch of teams, Delhi Capitals, right? He's been
RCB.
RCB
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, he's been in and around.
KKR.
He's been in and around in and around like whatever. He's not a muck, dude. This guy's like I'm really really struggling to see what they see in Bharat. Okay, he keeps adequate to spin. At least with it, like they threw out Riddhiman Saha for this guy. Riddhiman Saha, India's probably one of India's best ever keepers, not batsmen, keepers, right? Wicket keepers, right? In Test cricket, the guy they threw out Riddhiman Saha for this guy on what? Based on what? Rishabh Pant is not there. Okay, we get it. We're getting over it. But KS Bharat on what basis? You have Dhruv Jurel in the team for what? You have KL Rahul who's also keeping, but you're not making him keep wickets. So like I don't know, this whole wicket keeper conundrum is very weird to me. Like I don't see what they see in KS Bharat. Like to be honest, like I just don't. I had a lot of hope. I really did because I wanted this kid to succeed. I wanted him to do well. But this guy has not shown his. He doesn't have the balls, the Kohli balls, the Pujara balls. He doesn't have that. Like he doesn't have the Pant balls. No chance. No chance. Right? I don't get the selection of KS Bharat, the repeated selection of KS Bharat. What has the guy done? Has he scored 150 against Australia, like not even Australia, against like Sri Lanka or something. He scored 150, right? Like I don't get it. The dude cannot be getting out for 10 or 15, 20. That's not it's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. If you're an Indian wicketkeeper, if you're taking the place of Riddhiman Saha and Rishabh Pant, you can't be scoring 20, 15, 10 and calling yourself a keeper.
So who should we keep? Who should have kept this test match, Krishna?
I mean, it's a tough call. Uh, personally, I wouldn't have selected these three keepers. I would have maybe gone back to Riddhiman Saha. I don't understand why they've told him to fuck off.
Like that you could be calling him dad. That man's older than dirt, man. He's my
But
age.
he's still good. He's still good. The dude is
He's a
still
good player, but yeah, move on a little bit. I understand it to a certain extent. I mean, you could say about Jimmy Anderson, the same age. Jimmy Anderson's older than Saha, still playing. But I mean, I understand to a certain extent why they've kind of discarded. You have to move with the time. I mean, with Rahane, Pujara, Saha, these guys, kind of push them out. That's why I asked you before about Ishan Kishan. He's not in the squad.
Ishan Kishan has had some disciplinary issue thing, so that's why they're not selected him. He's gotten, I don't know what exactly happened, but I heard that's what I read somewhere, that he had some disciplinary issue. So he's not been he didn't that's why he wasn't selected for Afghanistan tour as well. So he's like been reprimanded by the BCCI for a few months or something. So I mean, obviously Ishan Kishan should have been first selection if that was the case. Like I would have selected Ishan Kishan every day of the week over any of the other three keepers, right? Like for keeping, for keeping sake.
What's this Jurel guy like?
Jurel is still young, man. He's still inexperienced. He's barely played the IPL. Barely. Like he played a few games for Rajasthan Royals last year. I think what.
How old is he?
He's played under 19. He's played India A. I think he's like what, 23, 24, something like that. Yeah.
Because Bharat's 31.
He's very impressive. He's quite impressive.
Young.
Bharat's like 30 or something, 29, 30, something
He's
like that.
30 now. Yeah, he's not. Yeah. He's 31 this year. He's not even young.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
not
so it's
young.
like, well,
He's been
yeah.
around
I
for a
also
while.
question. I also question selection, but I don't know. I mean, it's just one for you and Simon more than anything. But what your opinion? You know, I think you'll play this test coming up on Friday. You'll play a second test.
He will. He will.
I think you'll go unchanged. I really do. I think you'll go unchanged.
But I don't know what to do about the Shubman Gill conundrum. I don't know what to do because the Shubman Gill not scoring runs makes things very difficult. To be honest, it makes it very and yes, Shreyas Iyer should take more responsibility. Yes, KL Rahul should take more responsibility. KL Rahul actually, personally speaking, KL Rahul is best as an opener. I think in Test cricket, it makes a lot of sense for KL Rahul at the top, but you just have too many people at the top. Like, can you push down Yashasvi Jaiswal? I don't think you can. I don't think you want to either. I don't think you want to.
No,
So
as you said before, he's scoring loads of runs at opening the batting. So why would you move him?
yeah, exactly.
So
So you can't do that. But KL Rahul, I mean, yeah, at least he's good enough, number four. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think
you can
this.
give him back if he's not going to keep wicket. He's
Yeah,
got that burden, off his shoulders.
yeah,
He's playing a pure batsman. Maybe
yeah,
he could bat at three.
yeah.
To sort
KL
of
Rahul should bat up. I think he should bat up. To be honest, I think he at least he has the record of scoring runs against like strong teams like Australia and England especially, right? He has a good record against these teams, so I think he should move up the order. Like, um, honestly, I don't know. I do have like I do want to make one point though about Rohit Sharma. Like, I think do you guys think Rohit Sharma should continue to play that attacking style or whether he should like anchor the innings like because I mean Rohit Sharma was doing that attacking Sehwag role in the World Cup, right? Does it make sense for him to do that in Test cricket given that the rest of the batting is quite inexperienced? Like, should he take up the leadership of scoring those runs and just let Yashasvi Jaiswal do all the tonking?
sign. What do you think?
I think honestly, let Rohit be Rohit at this age. He doesn't need to change.
Hmm.
Just let him be, let him play as he wants to. And I think that's helping him a lot. It helped him in the World Cup. And it'll take some time because we are playing tests after about 1 year. So it'll take some time.
But I mean, don't you think that I mean, at least in T20 ODIs, limited overs makes sense. Test cricket, you need time, right? I mean, a quick fire 30 doesn't mean jack shit in Test cricket. It really doesn't. Like a quick fire 30-40 doesn't mean anything. Because you don't take any time out of the game, nor do you get enough runs. So, I mean, you need somebody to play time, and there's nobody in this team who gives me that impression that they can play time. Like at least Kohli, if Kohli was there, yes, I would say Kohli can do it. If Pujara was there, 100%. But is there anybody in this team that can play time? Like Shreyas Iyer to me is a wicket that's walking, like I mean not a walking wicket, but at least it's a 30 ball 40 ball innings at best.
Yeah, at
K-
best.
KL Rahul maybe 100 ball innings. Rohit Sharma 100 if on a good day 150 balls 200 balls, right? Um, but I mean Shrikar Bharat 30 balls, right? Right? Jadeja on a good day 100 balls, right? It's that's the thing that's kind of tripping me up with this team. Shubman Gill off late has been 20 balls. That's literally been, and that's not acceptable for Shubman Gill. It's not. So like I just don't see, like I look at the team, I look at the batting, I think it's pretty weak. And I think England has a shot, a very realistic shot of at least making it 2-2, if not 3-1, right? I mean, very, very realistic shot. I don't think it's going to be 5-0. There's no, or like a 4-1 kind of thing. India will win. India will.
Listen, you can still see a 4-1 to India. There's no doubt. I think if India trounced us on Friday, you got the emergence of obviously Kohli coming back and everything he brings with that. But also, isn't Shami available from the third test?
Yeah, yeah,
Because Siraj was absolutely targeted. He was definitely the weaker point in the bowling attack,
that's true.
no question.
That's true.
Shami is absolute quality, brilliant
Yeah.
bowler.
Second innings.
Compliments, he compliments bombers so well.
Yeah.
And I think like him and Kohli back to the side. Don't get me wrong. If England could somehow bag a victory on the second test,
Yeah.
then you start talking about India somehow scrambling home a third test and that's to win the series. But if India win, which I probably expect, to be honest with you, realistically speaking, I probably expect them to, with Kohli and Shami back into the side, I think that India are infinitely improved with those two. Whereas England, there's no one in the locker really to improve. Mark Wood didn't do as well as we thought he would. He didn't make those breakthroughs. He didn't bowl that many overs in the match. But I think
When
that's
does
the
Jimmy
only
come back?
the only change you might make is that potentially, if you're going on now, Christian, if it's up to you, you can go on to team selection for the second test. And I would say you might look at Mark Wood, because he was wicketless in this test. He was wicketless, wasn't he? I don't think he took a wicket at all.
Yeah.
Across, but he didn't wicket in the second innings and all that. I don't think he took a wicket in the first either. But Mark would be the one I'd look at because he's wicketless. He was fairly innocuous at times. It's not really his fault. This wicket wasn't conducive to pace. But number two, because it's back-to-back test matches pretty much, and we know his injury frailties.
Yeah.
But you say Jimmy, there's actually a guy I want to mention. It's Gus Atkinson. And Gus Atkinson's actually more like for like to Mark Wood than Ollie Robinson or Jimmy Anderson. For me, Ollie Robinson, in particular, he'd be my fourth choice out of the four fast bowlers because he's not really a guy I can see making like a crucial breakthrough in India. You can call him on the home conditions and seamy conditions, New Zealand, whatever, but here, I don't really see that happening in India. Jimmy, though, can make the ball talk with the old ball as well as the new. So he's someone I would consider. But then obviously you're losing a bit in the field because the guy's almost 42 years old.
Yeah.
He's older than me. I mean, but I think we'll look at Mark Wood because it's back to back. He might be even he might just need, even though it's didn't bowl a lot, still might need to be changed. And then Rian Ahmed, who I don't think will be dropped. I think he will play. But I do wonder if this level of cricket has come too soon. It might just be a case of playing in India, the whole, very hard place to go and play to bowl spin as an overseas spinner. But I do wonder about Rian Ahmed.
Yeah.
I think something about him. I'm not quite, doesn't sit quite right with me just yet in red ball cricket. I don't like his action. I don't like spin bowlers who flail their arms and shit. And there's all this shit going on in the crease.
It's very
I don't like all that.
It's very pie checkerish. It's very, very pie checkerish.
He'll offer you 2 short balls and over. Yeah. He's not blessed with great height, unfortunately. Yeah. He's not an Axar Patel or Tom Hartley. He's not 6'3". He's not a
Kuldeep.
Yeah, he's like Kuldeep. Yeah. But Kuldeep has that wonderful variation, and being a left arm Chinaman anyway going to give you a point of difference. Where Rian Ahmed is a leg spinner. Like, he can bowl. I was watching him a lot today. He bowls some really good balls, but like in between. But you got to remember, he's 19 years old. He's 19 years old. So he'll be better for this experience, but I just wondered about him. But what he does offer as well, he's a very confident chap, a very confident character. He can also bat. You guys might have seen him bat that much. I've seen him bat a fair bit at county level as well. He's a very good batsman. He bats for his county at 5. He bats 5 for his county. He's a very good batsman, Rian Ahmed. He's a much, if he can get his bowling going because he's only 19, he could be a much better version of Adil Rashid because he offers a lot more with the bat. I could see him in the future batting at 7 for England and being the first choice bowler. But I just wonder if I'm not convinced he'll play all 5 tests. I think we'll see Shoaib Bashir at some point in this series. So, yeah, I mean, but I think we might see only one change. That's purely through fitness, and that's Mark Wood. Hopefully Leach is fine. I know his knee, but hopefully he's fine. Tom Hartley obviously plays. Rian Ahmed, I think we'll probably get another go, and then we'll see how that goes. But obviously the top 7 stays the same. There's obviously no difference with that. Yeah. That's the same team, obviously. There's only Dan Lawrence they may look at, depending on how Fox goes with the bat. If he did well actually. There was the second innings, wasn't it? He got that grubber from Axar Patel. He was batting really well with Ollie Pollard. We got unlucky there, folks, but that's the other guy I'd look at to keep an eye on him because Dan Lawrence is out in the squad because Harry Brook obviously pulled out. That they might look at, but I think the only change at the moment is that Mark Wood, that seamer position. I'd be tempted to go with Gus Atkinson ahead of Jimmy even.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, we'll see. But
But I think
that
Vizag would be more conducive for Jimmy, no? Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Because it'll swing a bit more, I think, towards the start.
At least, I mean, I would.
well, I mean, I don't know the conditions that well there. If you're telling me that it's obviously much more swing friendly, is that you can get the ball to reverse well? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, then then maybe look at Jimmy, but I don't know. I just feel like that kind of having that 90 mile an hour. If you're going to play one seamer only, having that 90 mile an hour as a point of difference to make a breakthrough is it's some of these the Robinsons and Andersons can't do. They're not going to be able to. You know what I mean? They're going to keep it tight and build pressure or anything. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah,
Yeah, I think.
that's me.
I think the only England not too many changes. Maybe get Jimmy in there. I think the rest batting looks fine. I think you wouldn't make changes there. Also, I think like me and Sayan have have been talking about the Indian team. Like I said, like all shit has gone to the like fucking furnace. But I don't think. I mean, we're not that bad. But I think there is a very realistic chance, given that the batting has been. Also, I mean, if you look at the batting, India's batting relied on Yashasvi and Jadeja mainly, right? It was a very heavy reliance on the left-handers, right? Um, Shubman Gill was quite poor. Rohit Sharma got the runs in the start, but again, like it was a heavy reliance there on those two guys. So I think India, I don't know if like you said, they might go unchanged. They probably, knowing Rohit Sharma, he'll probably go unchanged. Um, but if Jadeja again pulls up with something, then you might have to consider playing, Kuldeep, and maybe getting in somebody like you might have to get in Aksar up the order or something like that, and you'll have to try and do something there, or you might have to play one less bowler and get in a Patidar or something like that. So yeah, I think changes. If you look at the changes, I think India might have more changes to consider. Uh, you might also want to look at maybe this thing in Avesh or a Mukesh in case there's more for there's more on offer for the swing bowlers. So you might want to consider that. India might think about that, but knowing Rohit Sharma, I don't think he'll change much. So yeah, I think we'll probably before we wrap up, just want to ask you guys quickly, who's winning the series?
India, definitely.
Yeah, India for sure.
India, but okay, India wins, but by how much? So you can't say
3-1.
5-0. You can't say 5-0.
3-1.
I would do to India.
3-2 India. Okay. Sign
3-1.
3-1. Okay. Hmm. Let's see.
I think the way England play,
Yeah.
unless it's bad weather, there won't be a drawn Test match.
I'm just thinking, will India now that we've lost a test, will they make 4 dust bowls? Because I'm just thinking, is it going to be 3-1 or 4-1? But also, there is a very good chance for 2-2. I feel there is a very strong chance for 2-2. I don't know about you guys, but I think 2-2 is possible.
I think I don't. This team doesn't draw matches. This England team doesn't draw match. They said
No, no,
that
but
they don't draw.
you might have one game drawn for whatever rain or something like that. It usually
It's only
happens.
weather that would make a draw, in my
Yeah, yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
This whole dust ball thing we did the same thing 12 years ago.
Let's see.
And you
Okay,
got done. You got
there's Vizag, Rajkot, Ranchi, and Dharamshala. Okay, so Dharamshala's dust bowl, I think impossible. Ranchi probably will be a dust bowl. Rajkot, yeah, maybe. Vizag,
That's all for sure.
yeah,
Rajkot has to be a dozen.
yeah, yeah. So 2 dust bowls out of 4 are guaranteed. So yeah,
I don't mind it. I don't mind this dust ball. If you go down that route, I think you're gonna get caught, gonna get found as much as we will.
I listened to some. I think I was watching some cricket analyst podcast recently, and they said that India has a bet. They said that India has a better chance if we make more seam friendly bowling conditions as opposed to dust bowls like whatever absolute rubbish bowling conditions. Because the lotteryness of it, right? The lucky draw part of it would give the opposition a chance to like a good enough chance to like come back into the game. right? Um, so I mean that's just food for thought. But yeah, I think I would say probably. I mean, England's England can win the next test. So I'll go 3-1, 3-2 around that is my prediction for
Yeah,
this.
I think England have one more win in the next four. I think
Hmm.
they do have one more win
Hmm.
somewhere,
Yeah.
which is why I think it'd be three. I saw that India wins the series. They ultimately equality. I think the return of Kohli is massive.
Oh,
I
it's
really do. I think that's massive.
yeah,
And then you've got Shami, who I think coming to their side. I think he's a wonderful bowler.
yeah,
I think he doesn't get enough praise from the world scene. Mohammed Shami.
yeah,
I think he's a
That's true.
brilliant bowler, unbelievably skilled in both in with both balls, red and white.
yeah.
He's like KG Rabada. Doesn't get quite enough accolades, in my opinion.
Right.
I just don't think he gets enough credit really. I think he's brilliant.
I think Shami would have made a huge difference in this match. I think like he would have had what
Yeah,
it
definitely.
takes to break that partnership between Hartley and Pope. I think that
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
that was obviously the match winning partnership, if you will, right? But yeah, I think yeah, having Shami there over Siraj. I also Bumrah bowled very little today. Like he got the most wickets, but he bowled very little. Like you had more overs from Jadeja and Ashwin, right? Aksar barely got any overs in that second innings. So yeah, I just found it interesting that they didn't use more of Bumrah. But yeah, I think yeah, we'll see what happens in the next Test match. Lots to look forward to, guys. Lots to look forward to. Looking forward to the next Test match in Vizag, which begins on February 2nd. So we're not too far away from it. And
Yeah, it's Friday.
yeah, yeah. Anyways, thanks Shay and Sayan for this wonderful live stream. And yeah, we'll come back. We'll probably come back for the second test. If England win, we'll probably come back for the second test. I think Shay will be interested in coming for the second test.
100%, man. Yeah. We should do it after every test match. We'll do it.
Yeah, we can do it. I'm okay to do it. I need some content for my channel, so we'll
Do
do it.
so, yeah. Do 5 review shows. That'll be good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. And also, the India Pakistan game in the T20 World Cup is happening in New York,
Ooh, at New York.
my hometown, where I was born. Yeah. So
You gonna
Oh,
go?
I'm thinking about it. Like, I mean, it would be cool to watch India Pakistan in the US. I think that would be. But
Yeah, that'll be.
I've heard apparently that the field is like it's like your local park. Like the field is as big as your local park.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's very average. Um, the cricket grounds there are very pedestrian. So, but it'll be pretty cool. It'll be pretty cool to watch India
No,
Pakistan.
definitely, man. That MLC went down pretty well. I felt like little tournament they had.
Oh yeah, it was
The
great.
two
Yeah,
last year.
yeah. All the teams owned by Indian IPL
Yeah,
franchise
but
owners.
yeah,
Yeah, IPL's buying the world, man. Like it's just buying the entire world.
just yeah, dominated man. You got ILT 20 teams, you got SA
Yeah,
20 teams,
yeah.
MLC.
Major League. Yeah, I think pretty
They've
soon
just
we'll.
also bought a stake in Hampshire Cricket Club,
Oh damn. Wait, which team?
the the Delhi Group,
Oh, Delhi
Delhi
Capitals. Okay,
Capital.
okay.
They just bought a stake in Hampshire County Cricket Club. Just
Oh
bought
damn.
quite a healthy stake in that.
Oh
So
wow,
there's rumours they might try and acquire one of the 100 teams eventually.
man, it's crazy.
So yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, I think we'll
global
end.
domination marches on.
Yeah. Okay, we'll end it there because I think we don't have time.
Cool.
So, thanks, guys. See you guys for the next test. Cricket
Cheers.
Krishna. Follow Uneven Bounce. Sayan Banerjee. Follow him if you want. I don't know his handle. What's your handle?
Jaffa Merchant, you can
Jaffa
see that
Merchant. It's not showing up. Jaffa
on
at the rate
Twitter,
Jaffa
on
Merchant
Twitter.
at the rate Uneven